Welcome to UCBC Evening News. I'm your host, Lorenzo Pellecchia, and our first story today is about the new developments in the Cold War. Our former allies in World War II, the Soviet Union, has been working to put Eastern Europe under their control, forming satellite nations. The separation of East and West Europe under different ideologies is known as the Iron Curtain. Earlier today, we have Stalin giving a speech about the future of the Soviet Union in Europe.
Товарищи красноармейцы и краснофлотцы, командиры и политработники, рабочие и работницы, колхозники и колхозницы, работники интеллигентного труда, братья и сестры в тылу наших врагов, временно подпавшие под иго немецких разбойников, наши славные партизаны и партизанки, разрушающие тылы наших врагов.
In response to this frightening message, new President Truman is now live at a press conference at the White House.
My fellow Americans, our large amount of financial aid to Europe after World War II has been very effective. After the hunger, poverty, and desperation suffered in Europe, the Marshall Plan is a chance to help Western Europeans revive their economies as well as overcome the spread of communism. We also need to aid Greece and Turkey to keep Soviet influence from spreading.
The battle between ideologies is reaching its peak. This fight is seen most in the divided Germany, where it is split between West and East Germany. Because the Western countries occupying West Berlin, the Soviet bloc occupying East Berlin and surrounding land attempt to starve out West Berlin by blocking food supplies. Tension only heightened with the creation of the wall. To see what is happening next, we have Kevin interviewing a West German citizen in West Berlin. Take it away, Kevin.
Thank you, Lorenzo. I am at the scene of the Berlin Wall with Wolfgang, a West Berlin citizen. Mr. Wolfgang, how do you feel about the Berlin Wall?
It really is terrible. The Soviets are just trying to starve us. My family's on the east side, and I'm on the west side. I can't do anything. I can't work. It's terrible. It's really terrible.
That's quite sad for you and your family. On another note, I heard that early on, when the wall was first built, there was a lack of food. How did West Germany or West Berlin overcome this?
Well, actually, the British and the Americans, they airlifted us food, which basically saved us. So, also they gave us Christmas presents on Christmas. That was pretty nice.
Thank you for having this interview with us, Mr. Wolfgang. Back to Lorenzo in the studio.
After Soviet-instituted North Korea made a surprise attack on South Korea, President Truman ordered troops to support the South Koreans. It seems like the North Koreans are unstoppable. American troops are being overrun by Kim Il-sung's communist forces. Wait, our reporter in Korea just updated us on the situation. It looks like General MacArthur has made an amazing military move and has landed forces in the port of Incheon. We now have a live report developing in Korea. Let's hand it over to Rohan.
Thank you, Lorenzo. As you can see, our forces were at first being pushed back by North Koreans into Busan, but now we are beating the Koreans by a landslide.
Get back over here, Koreans!
Meanwhile, on Wake Island, President Truman and General MacArthur are meeting for the first time, where we have sneaked a secret reporter into the top secret conversation.
Hello, Mr. President Truman. It's an honor to finally meet you.
It's an honor to meet you too. Let's get straight to the point. You cannot attack China. If you do, we are risking a nuclear holocaust.
Please, sir, just one nuke on China. We can easily get rid of the communists and win the war.
This is not happening.
I publicly denounce you for this.
I'm tired of this. You are dismissed.
We're still alive.
Looks like we've lost live feed. Well, back to Rohan.
Oh no, wait! The communists are getting back help from the Chinese. We're getting pushed back. Now it looks like they're creating a truce line at the 38th parallel.
Looks like President Truman has finally signed a ceasefire with North Korea at the 38th parallel. As the Korean War comes to an end, people's fear of communist aggression prompted a hunt for Americans who might sympathize with the communists. the House of Un-American Activities Committee started to investigate Hollywood actors for communist influence. 10 of these actors, known as the Hollywood 10, refused questioning, leading to their arrest. Kevin is live with a crowd of protesters in support of the Hollywood 10.
Thank you, Lorenzo. I'm here on the scene of the ongoing protest with the Hollywood 10. People here seem very angry at the arrest, with them believing that they were unconstitutional. Even with these protests, the Hollywood executive has created a blacklist of 500 people believing to have a communist background, ruining their careers in the industry. Back to you, Lorenzo.
More spy cases have been uncovered. The fears of communist espionage has come true. Physicist Klaus Fuchs has admitted to giving Soviet scientists information about America's atomic bomb. Now, minor activists in the American Communist Party, the Rosenbergs, implicated in the Fuchs case, were sentenced to death despite pleas against their unfair persecution. Now we hear from our reporter Eloi at the trial of Joseph McCarthy, a major anti-communist who used people fear of Soviets to blacklist and accuse many people of being so-called communist sympathizers.
I'm here at the trial of the disgusting man named Joseph McCarthy. He claimed to have the names of inconsistent amounts of communists working in the State Department. He had done this mainly to weaken the Democratic Party and to strengthen his own Republican Party. His own party didn't stop him, as they believed that they could have easily won the presidency. He had even made accusations against the U.S. Army. The Senate has now condemned McCarthy for improper conduct.
Fear of communism has reached the government, as 39 states have made it illegal to advocate the overthrow of government. In other news, after initiating attacks on suspected communists, Joseph McCarthy has now passed away, suffering from alcoholism. We'll be right back after messages from our sponsors.
Communists. These are the main danger in our society. Do you want to help them by purchasing their communist vodka? If you do so, you are a commie, and I will personally hunt you down. Buy the superior all-American whiskey. Support our economy, and God bless America. I'm McCarthy, and I approve 40 Creek. Take the edge off.
Are you afraid of the hydrogen bomb? Me too. With the force of 1 million tons of TNT, it could easily wipe out your home and entire city. But don't worry, here at Nuketown Fallout Shelters, we have developed the ultimate way to protect you and your family from this terrible fate. The brand new Fallout Shelter will make it feel like home sweet home. The food storage will allow you to survive on months on end without a single worry. For the low price of $7,000, this Fallout Shelter can be put in your home in a matter of weeks. It is our guarantee you will survive a nuclear fallout. Welcome back to UCBC. And now, on how the Cold War is going global. Such as the creation of the Warsaw Pact, mainly in response to the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or called NATO. The Warsaw Pact is a military alliance that has linked the Soviet Union with 7 other Eastern European countries. Now for Eloi, more about this Cold War.
Yes, indeed, there have been some violent outbursts around the world caused by this war of ideologies, including the situation in Iran, where the UK decided to stop buying Iranian oil in response to Iran's nationalization of the oil drills. With the crippled Iranian economy, the US fears that Iran will turn to the Soviets for help. The CIA has given anti-Mossadegh supporters several $1 million in hopes of returning the Shah to power and returning control of Iranian oil fields to Western companies. Meanwhile, in Guatemala, the CIA has trained an army and has overthrown the president. The leader of the army has now become dictator, all because of communist fears.
Just in, Stalin has died, and Nikita Khrushchev has assumed power of the Soviet Union. He has ideas of a more peaceful approach to communism, so what is developing is a rivalry between the United States and the Soviets called the space race. The Soviet Union has already launched a satellite into orbit called Sputnik. The United States, however, have successfully launched their first satellite after a humiliating first attempt.
Of science and technology. There were a number of failures during the year, and the United States possibly turned out. First, the most spectacular of these was Vanguard at the end of 1957. There were other Vanguard failures, all achieved.
And that's all. Thank you for joining us at University City Broadcasting Channel. I'm Lorenzo Pellecchia, and good night.